All right, well, welcome to electrochemistry. What we're looking at in this section is the fact that atoms or molecules can gain or lose electrons. And you can always tell when that happens because electrons have a negative charge. So gaining electrons makes your charge come down because you're accumulating negatives. And losing electrons makes your charge go up. And just to summarize how those things work, we call it oxidation when you lose electrons and your charge goes up. There's a couple of mnemonics that help you remember these things. One of them is the Leo says Ger, where Leo stands for losing electrons is oxidation. The other one involves oil rig, where the word oil stands for oxidation is losing. So Leo and oil are both telling you the same thing there. And the flip side of that, of course, if you can lose electrons, you can also gain them. And we call that reduction. Reduction means you gain electrons. And because electrons have a negative charge, if you gain electrons, they drag you. It's like handing someone a rock. It drags them down. Their charge decreases. Your charge goes down when you acquire new electrons. And there's two ways to remember that one also. The Leo says Ger. You have to spell Ger kind of strangely, but GER is for gaining electrons is reduction, or the flip side of oil is rig, which is for reduction is gain of electrons. So, with all that in mind, for each of these we have an atom or a couple of atoms, and there's before and after, and they're asking us what happened to it. This is iron 2, and its charge went up to +3. If its charge went up, then it was oxidized. Right, over here, anytime charge goes up, you're being oxidized. Here we have oxygen at -2 charge, and it goes up to, well, there's no charge mentioned here at all, which means the charge would be 0. From -2 to 0 is also an increase, so that also was oxidized. Nitrogen at -3 goes up to 0, oxidized. Element X at -5 goes down to -7. That's a decrease. That would be a reduction. Tin 4 falls to tin 2. That's a reduction. If you want to think of reduction as the charge was reduced, that definitely works. That's how I learned it. Copper 0 goes up to copper 2. That's an oxidation. Yttrium 3 goes to -1. That's an increase. That would be oxidation. And bromine goes from 0 to -1. That's a reduction.